We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Hey, it's Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good?
Man, you know what? I am somewhat starting to I'm getting mad, bro.
Wow.
I'm getting mad. So I'm getting mad, bro, because I'm sitting here. I don't know who sent this to me though. I gotta go back. But you know what I'm saying? Somebody was like, yeah, they talking about your goat on the damn on that Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people are talking about it was Nicki Minaj's birthday, and you know, of course, in the process of you posting, you posting pictures, you doing, you know, what I'm saying, whatever, right? So they were supposed to be hashtagging, like, you know what I'm saying, it's the Queen's birthday and everything, Queen's 40 and everything, and it's just something about people was commenting about her weight. Basically, was something they was calling it. It was what for some period, instead of the actual hashtag trending, somebody created their own hashtag to ride with it that was 40 and fat and 40 or something like that, bro. And I was just like, wait a minute though, man, y'all do people listen, bro. I just sit there and think about this though, bro. If there's a lot of people in the United States, a lot of people that are overweight, a lot of people that are overweight.
Yeah.
I'm almost inclined to believe, right, that if you told somebody, hey, with the snap of a finger, name one thing about you, about your physical appearance that you can change with the snap of a finger without you having to do nothing. You snap your finger, and this one thing about your physical appearance happens, right? Goes away, whatever it is. I'm sure that people will say, I'm willing to say maybe 60% of the people will say, wait, right? We'll say that I'm going to get these pounds that I've been wanting to get off though. So I always wonder though, to this day, when people are fat shaming somebody, who is this population that's fit enough, right? That feels like they can just like talk. Are we talking about Mandy Sachs? Let me find out that Rhea Ripley with them cakes that I saw her, or Bianca Belair, or Nikita Lyons. I'm talking about. Let me find out Ashanti, somebody who got these cakes that's fit is out here. Like why? Like who is still doing that these days? They got that kind of
Nah, bro. People get a kick out of doing stuff like that. They told Joe Budden up about it too.
What about what?
About his weight. he had a whole pod where he was talking about. He said, bro, I was kind of low key, a little down on myself the way they was roasting me in them comments. He said they was killing me, bro. And so yeah.
Who is that? I just wonder who has the room. Like I'm saying, like okay, let's just say if you fat shaming, and I'm just gonna say let's just move past the fact of that nobody supports fat shaming, the bad side, all of that stuff. But who has the body to be fat shaming still? Like, let me see. That's one of those things where I'm just like, bro, I would love to see the person who is doing it. Like, let me go to your profile picture. Let me see what you really look like for you to be fat shaming somebody.
Bro, fat is subjective.
It is. And that's why I'm just kind of wondering.
Some people's fat is subjective. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody might think that's fat. Some people might say that's thick, and that's different.
Even still, you can't. If a hashtag is trending, it ain't just all the fit people in the world that's riding this hashtag.
That's just riding the wave.
Oh my gosh, I
people
hate
who don't like.
They better leave Nicki alone, bro. Girl turned 40, and she had a baby, bro. Come on, man. Like I know a little baby, probably about 1 year old now, though, man. But still, bro.
Yeah. Well, look, bro, we got a lot to get into, so let's pop it off.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Tragic.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the button, you get the heads up whenever your boys' name is doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been going on, bro. A lot, and it's crazy though, bro. What we getting into first, bro?
Bro, we got to start with the most trending topic that's going on right now in these streets. We got to talk about that boy Kales, bro.
Yes, supposedly an album came out.
It did.
Listen, I thought that it got pulled from Spotify.
It got pulled from Spotify. It got pulled from Tidal. It got pulled from Apple, but it was still up on YouTube.
Listen, okay, so let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually trying to find it, right? And wanted to listen to it just because, from our perspective, it's always one of those things. Well, by listening to it, are you supporting him? He's in jail, whatever. But I figured journalism integrity. I wanted to make sure that as somebody who's talking about these kind of things, that we have our due diligence as journalists. I'd like to consider us on some level of that, right? But I didn't get a chance to actually listen. At least I don't think that I was listening to what was the album. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
I think I heard a version of it, but I want to know, did you get a chance to listen to it?
I did.
Okay. You can tell me if I'm listening to the right thing, because what did you see? Where was it at? What was it called?
It was on YouTube. I just typed in R.Kelly, I admitted I did it or something. And then
this is the one where he did the long song.
The 19-minute one?
Yeah.
No, that was the one that came out. So this is what's it's kind of tricky, right? Because he had a song that now there is one that's an 18-minute one that came out about an hour ago. So, but see, there's one that he wrote. So he hasn't admitted that he did 4 years ago, right?
Yep.
But then see, like the dude that put it out now, like the I admitted part 1 came out, and then so yeah, I haven't listened to that.
Okay.
So yeah. But I did listen to all the other. So see, this dude put out the whole joint. So okay, so about an hour ago he added more, because I had listened to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I listened to 9 of the tracks, and about an hour ago he released 3 more joints.
I'm tripping, bro, because I guess for me, maybe I'm just not. Maybe I'm just not seeing where it's at though, bro. Is it the one where
I'm gonna send this to you, and then you can just go to his page, and you'll see the rest of it. So,
because listen, I've seen the song. Is it the one that got the song "Planet" on it, or "I Found Love"?
Yep.
Okay. This is the one that the guys called it "Exclusive Slaps."
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did hear that then. Okay. So I did hear most of the right thing then. Let me ask you then, because I know exactly what I'm thinking for what I heard. if that's the right one. Your thoughts on the music? We can separate the man from the music.
Yeah. This is about R. Kelly. This ain't about Robert. We talking about R. Kelly. Robert's in jail. Okay. So it sounds like R. Kelly, like, you know what I'm saying, but it sounds like R. Kelly 6 or 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, the music is dated, and for some of it, it was purposeful. One of the songs, you can tell he wrote it for Michael Jackson. But I mean, it sounds just like R. Kelly. Like, it sounds like traditional R. Kelly.
And how?
What do you mean? How?
How does it sound like it in a sense?
Meaning like
traditional. Because he's been changing his music. He's been like probably like after Chocolate Factory or TP2, he kind of been a little bit. It was almost like he was trying to go back to the old R. Kelly, the older 90s R. Kelly, but with the trap style and all this other stuff.
This sounded like the Step in the Name of Love-ish time frame. That's what it kind of had, that little bit of that feel.
Okay, let me. I'm gonna keep it tall, bro.
Okay,
I'm gonna keep it tall. When I listen to the music that I heard, so if that's the case, I listened to 4 songs on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of the 4 songs that I heard, I couldn't help but think it sounded better than the songs I heard on Chris Brown album, bro. Like I thought this. I can't even count, bro. Musically, bro. Like, granted, R. Kelly is an older artist, and I understand that the content should be different. But I'm talking about just the R&B of it, right? Just the general nature of it being an R&B album, bro. Yeah, I thought that the 4 songs that I heard were better than the songs that I heard on the Chris Brown album, bro. I still don't. Even on the Chris Brown's album, the last Chris Brown album, I can't even just off the top of my head think of the name. Only Warm Embrace. That's it. That's the only song that I can think of right now off the top of my head from that song, though. And then
from what album?
Outside of that, from the last Chris Brown album.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you a song on there, bro.
Yeah, it almost this was crazy. The R. Kelly project just made me just disappointed in the Chris Browns, bro, because that's all I could really immediately my compare. I thought I compare everything, and I realized I compare everything, these albums, to Chris Brown's, right? Because if Chris Brown, to me, if he's the king of R&B, right, and I know that you think that Tank is. But I'm gonna compare. Well, how does he stack against Tank? Right? I compare everybody who I like, even rap wise. If I say these are the people who I like are the ones who I think are the best, in my head, I'm thinking like, how does this artist who I'm listening to stack to those, whatever. But I'm gonna be honest, like I did think that the 4 songs that I heard, if this is the right one, I think that those 4 songs seem like they were better than 4 songs. You can pick. I mean, you can pick the songs. I mean, 4. Just pick random 4 songs on the Chris Browns. I think that these 4 songs that I heard on R. Kelly were better than his stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, no. I think, like I said, I think if just talking R. Kelly, if you were a fan of R. Kelly, then this just was another par for the course. It almost reminds me how we talk about Drake, right? Like, it wasn't nothing mind-blowing, nothing new that you haven't heard before. It sounded like traditional R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm wondering, I think my thing, what I'm wondering about is, did he actually record some in jail, or are these unreleased songs? That's what I'm wanting to know. So
I think that if R. Kelly is very much the studio rat, like I think he is, I think that R. Kelly probably have hundreds of songs, right, that are there. And you think all you need is the vocals, right? In the tempo. And you can throw something on that though, man, right? Because I mean, hell, you and I do it all the time where you got these songs where you're like, I don't sound good to this beat. Let me throw it on this other beat. So I think that that's a possibility.
Right, but these beats sound very they sound dated for one, but they also that it sounded like he produced them though. That's what's crazy.
Well, I think that for that reason, though, man, I think that I think that these are some songs that I believe that R. Kelly had previously recorded, and maybe they weren't intended. They could have just been songs that didn't make the cut, right?
Well,
But
like I said, definitely there's that song that sounded like he wrote it for Michael Jackson. Like there is, I mean, same cadence. I could close my eyes and hear Mike actually singing it. Like, yeah. So that had to be one from the tuck.
as a songwriter, though, man, right? This is
Mhm.
okay, from a songwriter's perspective, how's the pen?
It wasn't nothing major. It was like very, very general stuff. Like what I'm saying, it wasn't mind blowing. It wasn't like what I'm saying. It didn't sound. It didn't sound as current as Tank's album.
I'll give you that. I'll give
You
you
know what I'm
that.
saying? That
I agree.
this is what I mean, right? And all jokes aside, right? Even though Tank sounded like Tank in the first half of his records, right? They still sounded current with the content, right? It was just Tank. Whereas the R. Kelly, like I said, these songs sounded like they were just leftover songs from previous albums. Doesn't sound like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, it seems like these are songs that didn't make Black Panties, songs that wouldn't have made the last 12 played. Like these are just some extras that somebody just so happened to have in the tuck, though, bro. I
And
agree with
the
you, man.
boys just pushed the button.
Just push the button on it because I think that it was unauthorized, so that makes sense why. But aside from the music, right? I am interested, right, in the mixed reactions to it because
Yeah.
you got people like Boosie, who is out here. He's always been not defending R. Kelly, but the not defending Robert Kelly, but being a big fan and has been pretty vocal about R. Kelly, the musician. So I think that he got his videos of him talking about, couldn't wait to hear it. He got his reactions. I think a lot of people have been in a positive way, but then you also have the negative reactions as well, though, man. I'm wondering here is like if that happens, though, is it just me? Somehow people want to at least hear what it's going to be about, right? I think that
Listen,
some people might.
I think just like with anything else, right? You have the right to listen to it or you don't. It's a choice. But I don't think that I personally don't think they should have pulled it from the streaming services. I think that at the end of the day, if he's an artist and he has unreleased material, because here's the thing, right? When an artist dies, music still gets released.
Yeah, but there's a process for that, right? There's a formal process for the estate to authorize that. But if that's like
Understandable.
that would
But
be like that
here's
would be like these leaked songs, for example. That would be like when they said, man, more people. I just realized there was like more artists have had their songs recently leaked as well, though, man. Like at first it was just Lotto, but then there's some other people who had a bunch of songs recently. But if you release those right to streaming platforms, then you're not following the proper channels for people to get
no,
royalties,
no, no, no.
for people to get all that stuff, though.
We're going against my point. My point is
Okay.
this: some people feel like when an artist passes, that you shouldn't play any more of their music because they feel like it's morbid, right? There are some people that feel that way. So what I'm saying is, some people can feel like because this man is behind bars and because of the crimes that he committed, then he is canceled completely and should no longer be allowed to release any music. And I feel like that it's a choice. Like, now granted, the streaming service has every right to decide what they want to put on their channels and what they don't. I'm not telling them to put it out there. I'm just saying if the platform is available, I don't think it's wrong for him to release music because people have the choice of whether or not they want to listen to it or not.
I get that. I mean, I do agree. I think that to me, I look at it like this. YouTube has all kinds of I don't think that YouTube has the same guidelines that other platforms have. But I do think that, and so because of that, there are all kinds of copies of songs out there. There is a bunch of stuff out there for YouTube. But I do think that for the true streaming platforms like a Spotify, like a Tidal, iTunes, I do think that you just can't have an unauthorized version of a whole album out there, right? Like it just seems to go against the whole principle of their platform. So to me, I understand why they would have taken it down, but at the same time, I understand because that album, oddly enough, it's on YouTube, but it's not on YouTube Music that I saw anyway. I didn't see it there, so that kind of makes sense though to me.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not. I mean, like I said, I'm either way. People that want to hear it, they're gonna find a way to listen to it. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah. So and to answer your original question, do I feel like it's supporting him by listening to it? I mean, I told you from the beginning, I'm able to separate R. Kelly from Robert. So I'm just like Kevin Spacey. I can separate Frank Francis oh my gosh. What is Frank's last name on House of Cards?
I can't even remember though. I know you mean though.
Yeah. I can separate Frank from I can separate Francis from Kevin. So
Speaking of that, the whole random thing, I just found out this week, right? I found out this week what the whip is, bro. I never even this week, it was this week that I found out that the whip basically means it refers to, I think, the number 2 or number 3 ranked person in your
but
party.
what does it stand for? White House what?
I don't know what the
acronym
the acronym stands. I think I don't think that it's an acronym actually. I think it's just a title, but I think that it's the second in command or the third, because I think that of course you have your head of your party is your president, but then you have your speaker, and then within that, I think it's either the second or third person in command, though. That's what I thought about you when that came up, because I remember you asked me like what was some years ago, like what does the whip mean? And I was watching something that popped up because when Nancy Pelosi was stepping down as speaker, they were talking about, well, this is what that means. This person steps up, the new brother is gonna step up, and then they said, well, this means that this person is gonna be the whip. And I laughed because I thought about you in House of Cards and that though, man. So yeah.
Well, in my head, it stands for White House Enforcer Police.
Oh my gosh! No, I don't know what I don't think that it's an acronym though. I think that it's just a term.
It's just a term.
Yeah.
Bro, but moving on to some other people that's boycotting or have been boycotted or is in cancel culture. Let's talk a little bit about this boy Kyrie. So, Nike kind of stepped away from him with the whole anti-Semitic rhetoric that was going on. And so he's still wearing the Kyries. However, he has added some designs to his shoe. And he has taped over the logo. And then on the opposite side, he wrote a nice little message that says, "I'm free. Thank God I'm free." What are your thoughts about all of this, bro?
My favorite part of the whole thing is the fact that he had your logo here written on it. That was the biggest thing. The set aside his whole message. That to me was the biggest thing, because here's what I'm wondering though, bro. So what I am wondering is, if Nike dropped him for whatever their reasons are, would another company give him a signature shoe line based off of with those things? Like, I think that if Nike dropped them for those things, nobody else would pick him up for those same things, right? Like,
I think the opposite, right? Because at the end of the day, right, it's about money, okay? And he's already served his suspension. He's already come out and say that he is not anti-Semitic, or he has already denounced all of those things and did the whole nine. So at this point, that's all people want. He still has influence. So with influence comes people supporting, and there are some people that never not supported him from the beginning. So a fresh start for him, I could see that happening. For one, Under Armour would love to have another marquee player. Steph has his Steph line, but who else is over there, right? That's really like repping it like that. So you got Under Armour. Adidas won't do it because obviously he got in trouble for some of the same things that Ye did. So that wouldn't be a good fit. But what about Puma? Puma's doing well. Also, was it Ling Ling or the shoe that D Wade and them is with?
Yeah.
It's options, bro. It's options. And like I said,
Maine's manufacturer wise, I can kind of see him signing to New Balance, oddly enough.
Yeah, I mean,
the bigger brand would be Puma, but I can totally see him if he signs with Puma. Like New Balance don't got, but just Kawhi that I'm aware of. In
no,
Puma,
they also have your boy from the Thunder. I can see you don't keep up with the Thunder. They have Darius Baisley.
I don't even know who the hell Darius Baisley is, bro.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. You ain't no real Thunder fan. That's the whole point.
But the face of the
shoe, it's not about being the face of the shoe. He has his signature shoe, is what I'm saying.
Hell no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, well, here's the quick backstory because I know you don't care. But he was an intern when he was.
Oh yeah. I do remember the story.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what the hell his shoe looks like.
Oh yeah, it's dope. He actually had like a little thing with it was him with Kendrick Williams had a little thing where he had his new ones on and they was like, oh no, I ain't got the shoes. You got to check out his shoes. And then they pan down to him. So nah, he got his little line.
Yeah.
He's not the. I get it. He's not the face. Like you would more so attribute or correlate what's old dude that be rapping? I can't think of his name now. He's about to be in White Man Can't Jump. Performed with Mariah Carey. Jack Harlow. You'll associate Jack Harlow and Kawhi before you do Darius Baisley.
Bro, listen. Don't get me started on Jack Harlow.
I'm just saying. What now?
Oh my God. Like, you know what's funny though, bro? I feel like I low key, and I'm not gonna even lie, bro. I think that Jack Harlow is starting to turn into my Tony Parker, bro.
Oh my gosh.
I think he is, man. I don't know why though, man. I had to low key I had to low key catch myself.
Why you over here hot taking on the boy Jack Harlow? What did he do, bro?
He did, listen. You know what I think, though, bro? I guess like this. You know what it is? I think I just need to learn more about Jack Harlow, bro. Like I gotta, like I think the part that just gets me is I'm always I've been blown away at how accepting hip hop has been of Jack Harlow, bro. Like
he been putting in the work, though, bro. He knows he's the next one up after Eminem. He know that, and so he been putting in the work, and I respect that because at least he understands and acknowledges.
I gotta know the work. I gotta understand the work. I gotta understand the ground because somebody told me.
So you didn't see what he did with the hip hop awards and how he brought out some legends and stuff like that, like giving them platform, huh?
I don't care about that, bro. That's the part that made that's the part that almost like. That's the part that because I saw him.
Okay,
I saw him bring out Brandy, but that was after he was like, "Who is that? Oh, Ray J's sister." Like,
okay, but let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this then. So what is it that he could do to make you feel comfortable? Because apparently, I'm like, I don't know what that man personally did to you that you just.
I don't know, bro. He seems like a very safe Eminem to me, though, bro. I don't know. Like it just, so it almost feels like I don't know what it is about him, bro. Like I don't know what, and that's why, because I don't know, it feels like that's why he's starting to go into that. I know. I don't know. I can't even explain, and I try not to because I give him the fair shake. But I just think like, boy, man, people are like he didn't like. I just feel like Eminem had to really earn it.
But he came in with Dre, so do you think that helped?
Yeah, well,
then he found 50.
No, that wasn't that. But no, take 50 out of it for a second, right?
Okay.
I think that the reason why I think that that's the case, though, is that all right, you came in with Dre. So let's say set aside the idea of a Dre cosign, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you came on with Dre, you who had been associated with all these other great artists in the past, you had better damn well come with it and be something special and basically show us why Dre co-signed you. And I get that Jack Harlow has been doing that to some people, but for some reason, I don't know. Like he just like this. He just doesn't do it for me musically.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. He doesn't do it.
Have you listened to a Jack Harlow project?
I listened to the whole. I listened to the whole Jack Harlow project and walked away. It was like it's.
See, so you know what, bro? I think you low key. So because I remember asking you about Dave, bro, and you don't like Dave either. No. It's starting to. Your colors are starting to come out, bro.
You think I don't like the white rappers, bro?
I think you don't like the white rappers, bro. I think you don't like the white. You got some cultural appropriations coming.
They gentrifying hip hop, bro.
Bro, you a hater, bro.
Okay, listen, bro. If Jack Harlow, listen. If Jack Harlow comes out and he goes from rapping to where he's singing like Post Malone did, then I'm gonna not rock with him whatsoever. Like right now, I like because this is the thing about it. Because Post Malone, he was very hip hop when he first came out, and then he's very much a singer now, though. And I love. Listen, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I love Post Malone,
but he got offended by the XL list, the freshman list or whatever.
Listen, man, I love Post Malone, and listen, I'm not gonna even cap. You might be onto something because I was trying to not like Post Malone because I remember Post Malone was basically trying to say that he's not hip hop. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. And when you first came on, you was very hip. See, I think that you know what it is. Okay, so I know exactly what it is. My issue with Jack Harlow probably doesn't have anything to do with Jack Harlow. Right. What I have a problem with is when I see some white artists that come in and they kind of use hip hop or use that R&B style and hip hop to launch pad them into pop or something else. So like when Post Malone first came out, we thought, okay, he was White Iverson. He's a white rapper, right? And then he said, well, I ain't really hip hop. You can do this, that, and the other. And then he was like, all right, I'm not a rapper. And then it just reminded me like how when Miley Cyrus came out with Mike Will, and I was thinking like, okay, well, shoot, Miley Cyrus is about to be like on some 808 heavy, blah, 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 blah. And then she like later on was like, yeah, I don't like the space that hip hop is in right now. And then she started doing all this other pop stuff. And then it's like, who else did it? Pink did the same thing when Pink first came out. And she came out, and I thought Pink was going to be the white R&B chick. And then she switched over where she just mainly did pop. And I just see a lot of times where you see that happens where a lot of white artists, they start out as hip hop or R&B, and then it's almost like a cover for them to do what they really, truly probably want to be. And so if Jack Harlow came out like that, bro, I'm gonna be. Let me see Jack Harlow out here trying to
but you ain't even
sing with a
good
opportunity
to do it because you already hate him.
I listened to the album. That's an opportunity, and like I said, wasn't that blown away? You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, he's not okay. I just think that I know people who are independent that I think are better. He's not better than Rocky. By the way, shout out to Rocky for checking in, by the way. That boy got that heater that he about to drop. It's not better than he doesn't have a song that's better than I Was Down, by the way. So that's my opinion.
I just like Rocky. Songs is better than I Was Down. Like, how can you have one song that has two different versions of the same song?
No. I'm talking about Rocky's song, I Was Down. Yeah, okay. He's about to drop a song. I mean, it's not better than Really Down. No, listen, if you talk about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No. But I just think that, like I said, I think that he's cool. But I think that people are just like, he just kind of just got accepted without having to earn it to me. And maybe he's just that likable. And what's funny about it is that I know people say, no, Jack Harlow been trying to get on for a while. Like somebody was telling me that that Jack Harlow, while he's from Kentucky, he actually, went to college and did the grind out here in Atlanta. And people was like, yo, he used to perform at like some of the spots, Apache and some of the spots around the way where a lot of people been performing. So they say that, but I don't know, man. It's cool. I just,
Dog, I'm so mad at myself right now. I missed one of the best segues ever. As you had mentioned the boy Boosie listening to the boy
Yeah.
Kels.
I thought
And
you was gonna jump on that.
I know it, man. I missed it. You should have steered me there. You ain't even help your boy out.
You brought up Jack Harlow, bro. That's why.
But that was before Jack. But anyway, bro, tell me about this Gabrielle Union thing in Boosie.
So Gabrielle Union was on this show with Jamel Hill, and I think that ultimately they were talking about, people love to talk about their daughter Zaya, and they were talking about, oh yeah, she lives completely like rent free forever in people's head, and then they brought up Boosie. She was just like, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? He stayed talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like they was like, yeah, Zaya and Lil Nas X basically lives rent free. Like he's on the lookout for anything related to them. And she was like, yeah, I'm just thinking like you just got a lot to say about, you know what I'm saying, people who live that lifestyle. And he was just like, hey, if something on your mind about them, something you want to admit to everybody, just go ahead and say it though. And Boosie came back, was like, hey, everybody out here know I like women, so that ain't even the question. He came back with his response, but they kind of had a point though, man. Like Boosie is always commenting on anything Lil Nas X related, to where I don't see why Boosie. Maybe he does have it, but Boosie should have his own podcast, bro. Like he seems like he likes to like he brings it up as often as soon as it happens, right? He is there on top of it though, bro.
No, I get that. I think maybe he just don't want to have the commitment of doing it, but just likes commenting when he wants to.
Yeah, I think that it's funny to me though, man, because Boosie did come out and he was basically saying like, listen, y'all gonna fool around and y'all gonna have me clapping back for real, basically though, man. So you know what I'm saying? It's just man, they forever gonna go about that though, man, because like I said, I think that they feel like they give their kid the freedom to do whatever it is they want to do, and I think that particular choice of letting your kid do whatever it is they want to do in the lifestyle they want to live, those kind of things are the things that maybe Boosie is just, you know what I'm saying, just don't rock with basically. And he could, you know how there are certain things where you like, hey, listen, man, there's a lot of things that people can feel some way about. That's just the one that I feel strongly against and everything like that. So it's like, never mind the fact that you could, you know what I'm saying, let your kid do whatever. I think that he just feels like that's the one thing that really drives me the most insane. And he speaks about it every chance he gets though, bro.
Yeah. Well, bro, it looks like there was an arrest made for Takeoff situation. And we learned that he does not have a will. So now they're in legal battles over his estate and this, that, and the other. What are your thoughts on all of that?
Hey, man, it's one of those things, man, where, Takeoff was 28. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that when you young, you know what I'm saying? You don't think, let me just get a will, you know what I'm saying? Now, like, when I was 28, I didn't have a will. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just something that I just think, unfortunately, that you would like to think if you got a financial planner, a financial advisor, that someone should advise you on those kind of things. Especially when you have that much money at a young age, it's just very unfortunate. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold him not having a will against, because he's young. You young, you think you'll live forever. You think you always got time, right? But I do think that it's unfortunate that their family could never be their family will already never be the same without him. But then when you add this dynamic, this element to it, right? I just think that it's weird to see family. that those kind of things happen all the time, man. When somebody dies, people start to argue about, what somebody was left, what somebody would, all those things, though, man. Very important. I happens more often than not.
Yeah, I get that. It is very unfortunate. Hopefully, they can come to some resolution.
It always comes down to that money. Like, I think that, like, somebody probably could say, well, who he got, if he got a big house, who did he leave the house to? Well, he got this money in his bank account level. Where does that money go? You know what I'm saying? Or somebody might feel like I'm the one that did this, or he would have wanted me to do that. And even if he would have had a will, right? I think that people would have had some objections to that too, though, man. So I think that it's just real unfortunate. I do think that having a will is a way that I think should make things crystal clear. But if you don't have the will, I mean, you got the life insurance policy that's cover you on what your coverage is and everything like that, but just your things, right? I don't know. It's a good idea to have that, though. I don't think it costs very much these days. LegalZoom got you.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Let me ask you this, bro. So here recently, Trey Young got into it with some reporters. And of course, they like, look, if it's news, then we're gonna ask you questions about it, and we expect you to respond accordingly. And he's like, well, I don't even understand how this got out, because this should have been an internal thing. So I will say that we straight over here, and I'm not commenting any further because it should have been a private matter. And of course, he missed the game as well, so they trying to tie that into it. So what is your thoughts on the whole thing? Like, who's right, who's wrong?
I listen, I don't even know what the thing is. Like, I know that they've been saying that, like the Hawks are, this is kind of weird, because for the last, I would say, since Trey Young has been on the team, right? Since they drafted Trey Young. So we're talking about almost 4 years now. The Hawks have been one of those teams that have been on the cusp of coming on up for 4 years, but they never quite get over the hurdle. And when we thought that they were getting there, that one playoff run, the very next season, they looked like trash, bro. They never could just get over themselves. But that's just been how the Hawks have been year in and year out for at least the 20 years that I've been here, where they just never could. And I understand that before. They had LeBron James in the East, right? So they couldn't get over that. But it's weird, though, man. When those things come out, somebody internally leaked it, though, man. That people always talk about, I have a source that I'm confident. Everybody got their sources, though, man. And I just think that, bro, somebody had to leak it.
But do you think he should have to answer for it, though?
His answer could be that I'm not going to answer. I think that should be sufficient. Yeah.
Because they baited him. Like, he said, I want to see if I can pull that John up, because it was just the way that he responded to that one reporter. And look, I mean, almost like he was gonna swing on old dude. Let me see here. Let's see, Trey Young.
Yeah, I didn't know. I do know, though, right? I do know that people have been saying for a little while now that the Hawks coach, they were like, he just lost the locker room. And Nate McMillan, that's happened to him almost every stop along the way, right? When he was the coach at Portland, he got to a point where his message got stale. He got to, I believe, Indiana, message got kind of stale. And I just think that he feels more of like a transition style. We always talk about in football, right? You have a franchise quarterback, you have a rookie quarterback, but you also have a transition quarterback to kind of help get you until then. I think that that's where he is. I think that if the Hawks really think that this combination of Trey Young and Jadante Murray is going to work, and clearly it's not going to include John Collins, then you need to either make those personnel changes ASAP and just, but I don't, they're always going to teeter around that 8, 9 seed in the East where they're always almost there. I don't know what's up with the Hawks though, bro.
Yeah. The video that I found was 6 minutes long, and I didn't want to sit up there and play the whole thing. But basically, the he said I wasn't going to answer it, and he just kept on. He finally Trey was like, "Look, bro, if you're gonna ask any more questions about it, I'm just not gonna answer it." So, and of course, them, trying to then like, oh, well, you the leader, and how this looks when you don't show up to games. It was like you don't even know what's going on. Like, I ain't finna respond to that.
Yeah,
Just trying to bait him.
I don't have any problem at all with him not answering a question that was supposed to. And listen, I don't want to answer is an answer. It's sufficient according to the NBA, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, if he just didn't show up for interviews, that would be one thing. So I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah. Well, bro, there was two other things that we got to talk about. That's the biggest things in the world. The first, the return of Brittany Griner. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, listen, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I kind of got mixed feelings about it, right? So I think that I'm glad, for starters. I'm glad that Brittany Griner is home, right? Because I don't wish nor envy somebody who would be locked up abroad, especially for something that I think is so very minor. And then for her to, be locked up and be part of some political games and bargaining chips and things like that. Like that part, that's the main part, right? But she was swapped out for a cat that they called the Merchant of Death. Now listen, I'm not going to even cap. The Merchant of Death sounds like one of the best names for a villain in any movie you could ever think of, bro. Like I think that you put him
James Bond.
James Bond, bro, Mission Impossible.
John
It's
Wick.
Jason Bourne, John Wick. It's the Merchant of Death is there. But this dude was arms dealer who I believe he was caught in Libya or Liberia or something like that at some point. But this dude was one of the biggest. Yeah, he was one of the ones who was supplying guns in different African countries and everything like that. And this dude has done business in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Liberia, Rwanda, and basically, if there was a war that was going on in African countries, this dude was supplying guns.
He was the plug.
Yeah, he was the plug on. He had some dealings in Afghanistan as well. I mean, he connected. And so I think that he was halfway through, I believe like a 25-year long sentencing or something like that. Like he had some serious time. And so then the thing that I think that people have issue with, right, is that you mean to tell me that you are going to swap out Brittany Griner, right, for this guy whose crimes, right, massive, right? This impact of his massive. So I can understand why somebody would be like, that's a steep price, right?
But here's the thing, right? This is what people fail to understand. The U.S. were not in control of this trade, right? They weren't in control. They are subject to whatever Russia said. At one point, Russia stopped even answering calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, so what are you gonna do? Are you then gonna just let her stay in jail? Because no matter what, whether you bring her home or leave her there, people are gonna be mad. So it's at a point, it's like, so what are you doing? And then the other thing is, if that was your family member, I don't give a darn who you trade, right?
Right.
If I want my people home, F what you talking about. But my thing is that we weren't in control of this trade. It wasn't like we used to, like how the Lakers was trying to get up off of Russ or the Nets trying to get up off KD. Y'all don't have the leverage because y'all want to get rid of this person. So, but there was a thing.
Get this though. So this is let me correct myself though, because this dude He was arrested in 2008 in Thailand. And when
Yeah.
he was convicted of engaging in a plot to kill Americans, conspiring to support terrorist organization, and assuring that he would supply extremists with anti-aircraft missiles. So he is the plug of plug. And I understand that it's Brittany Griner, but here's what people are saying. I think that people get arrested, Americans get arrested. I believe that they keep saying there's like a Marine or something like that that's there. They're saying like, hey, this guy is an American hero, not an American celebrity, right? Like that's a guy who you would want to swap out.
Right. And they tried to add him into the deal, and Russia said no. We don't have the leverage in the trade.
Look, so you don't just say, well, give me the Marine, keep Brittany Griner, give me the Marine back.
No, they weren't. That's what I'm trying to say. They
never were trying to give up the Marine.
They were never going to give up the Marine because the Marine is believed to be a spy or something. So it's different rules. Like Brittany Griner was over there think about it. If she got 9 years for some weed, what you think the Marine got?
Well, this guy, so that's the point, though. This guy would be facing equivalent times. So for me, that would be.
But again, we're talking like how we do with sports, right? You ain't trading Steph Curry. You're not trading Steph Curry for Taco, right? You ain't finna do that. That's just not a fair trade. We don't have the leverage in this. We don't get this. What I'm saying is when they reached out to get her back, that was what Russia asked for. It wasn't like Biden called and was like, yo, bro, we'll give you this arms dude if you give us Brittany back. That wasn't what it was. It was in negotiations for a while. The U.S. tried to get the Marine back. It wasn't on the table for Russia. So
I think that they would have had to been trying to get him back for a while then, bro, because he's been locked up. The Marine's been locked up over there for a little stretch.
They have been trying. They have been trying. But unfortunately, again, when Russia holds the cards, they get to decide what it is. It's not up to us. Like people act like there was no pressure applied. Like everybody acting like they was listening in on the phone call when the trade was going down, or it was on the ticker and Sports Center was all of them was talking about it. Like that wasn't the case. Russia had the leverage, and they decided how it was going to go. They denied the Marine.
That's tough.
That's tough. It is tough because it does. I mean, the thing is that Russia know what they're doing. They know that what it looks like. They know what it looks like, and they know that don't do nothing but aid the 45 supporters all together, because them was the main ones on my timeline going crazy was the 45 supporters.
Well, listen, here's the thing though, man. Like to me, I think the one thing that is interesting is that this basically puts this guy back out on the streets, and he could get right back to doing his business of dealing the arms again. Like nothing stops that.
I 100% understand that. But again, I go back to the original question. What would you then have the United States to do if if Russia said, what you gonna do? Just let BG stay in jail then? Because that was the thing. They said, no, we ain't giving you the Marine. So what you gonna do? You gonna let her stay over here, or you gonna give us our boy?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that's a tough decision.
And that's what I'm saying. No matter what, no matter, and it goes back to the original statement you made. It's a political thing, right? Because it's unfair to Brittany Griner, who is now the face of trades, right? And then the other thing is, what do you do? Like you said, if the Democrats need a win right now, right? So politically, it's like, okay, look, we brought her home. Woo. You know what I'm saying? But then you got the people who support 45 that's like, but you didn't bring the right person. So it's no matter what you would have did, people would have been mad. If you left her there,
they're basically thinking like, listen, bro. They thinking like, for this guy, they probably are thinking, keep BG over there then, bro. Keep BG over there, because this guy, the consequences of the consequences of letting this guy out, because that means that now, not only did he, you know what I'm saying, basically have to come to all of the charges that to the full extent. Now you let him out to be able to unleash his doings all over again. So listen, I'm not gonna say I think that in this scenario, bro, I'm happy that BG got released. But I can also understand the other side of that argument.
I can too, but at the same time, when you don't have the leverage, you don't get to make the terms, and that's just what it is. So you can be mad all you want to. At the end of the day, you weren't on the phone call to understand what was at stake when they made the arrangement. And secondly, we didn't have the leverage, so we didn't get to negotiate the terms to make the bet.
And by the way, I think that it's crazy too how I notice more on the media how they be trying to add these slight little jabs at Putin, bro. So if you ever, so if when you read the news and there was a story that came out that said that they're trying to say that Putin's health is declining, right? And they said that he fell down the steps and fell down and soiled his clothes because he fell down the steps. And then they said that in Russia, they keep sending like all these newly enlisted soldiers out to the Ukraine, and so they said some of these boys is out here just when they get on out here, they just laying down and pretending to die for. It's like I trip out when they basically are reporting different things. I wonder though if those little things that Putin said, yeah, okay, we gonna see what's up though, man. So I don't know.
Yo, bro, last big topic that people are talking about in locker rooms and workplaces and what have you, and barbershops all over the U.S. is your boy Deion has stepped down as Jackson State head coach and is now moved over to Colorado. What are your thoughts? Do you think that he should have stayed? Should Prime have stayed, or do you think it was time for him to go?
Listen, okay, so I think that we got into this we got into this on Tuesday when we first heard that he was going, right? No, actually, golly, I didn't take that. We were hearing about it last week though, because Tuesday was your boy birthday, so we ain't talk about it.
Right, we ain't talk about it.
Yeah. Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is another one where I think I understand everybody's point. I don't think that people are wrong, but at the same time, I'm more inclined to support Deion's decision. And I say that because of this. Okay, so a couple things in right. I think people feel like Deion has been feeding Jackson State and the whole SWAC and HBCUs this rhetoric, this story, this tale that the SWAC is back. I'm here. I'm invested. I'm blah 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 blah. And then some people feel like, bro, all you doing is the same thing that all of these other NCAA coaches do when you see people leaving and you see this, that, and the other for other jobs and all this stuff. And I kind of understand why, where people will go with that. But I guess I just feel I'm more inclined to feel like, all right, Deion, there still has to be a next thing, right? Like, you didn't win out here to Jackson State. You turned them around, and for the last 2 years, you didn't win undefeated. You did some legendary stuff when you got recruits to flip from 5-star athletes, and you basically have showed that your way works, though. But then it's like at some point, it's like, all right, bro, you pay the man $375,000 because that was all you could afford to pay him at the time. And he basically was spending $75,000 of his own money to pay his staff. And then he took some of his own money to help renovate the facilities. And I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, like, I don't know how if you're Deion that you turn down $5 million a year. And not just from the standpoint of just the money. I'm talking about, I don't understand how you turn down the resources, the network. Like, it's what you wanted to do at Jackson State, but on a bigger stage. And I just think that you should be happy for Deion, right? And it's unfortunate that it happened at the expense of Jackson State, that you had a good thing and now that good thing moved on. But it should tell Jackson State that now you got a blueprint, right? You should know how it should be done going forward, though, man. So I'm not mad at Deion. Like, I'm gonna support Deion. I'm a root for Colorado, bro.
I'm not mad at Dion, and I think anybody who's mad at Dion that's just stupid. Plain and simple. It's dumb. Because you trying to tell me, right? If you was at your own job and somebody came and offered you more money for the same job that you doing, that you ain't gonna take it, but then you expect Dion to stay there, right? And then for anybody, this is the other thing. For anybody who favorite team ain't an HBCU team, you stupid for being mad.
Yes. Yes. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear nothing that an Alabama fan has to say. I don't want to hear nothing, to be honest. I don't want to hear what a Texas Longhorn fan has to say. I don't want to hear what a Texas A&M fan, LSU fan, Florida State. I don't want to hear nothing. Don't talk to me about Dion going there. Now, if you want to talk to me about, your team has got to play against him and you wonder how competitive he's going to be for that regard, but don't talk to me about the Jackson State aspect of it.
Nah,
I agree with you on that.
Let me ask you this question though, and because I finally remembered my point that nobody else has talked about. Is Dion leaving as bad as Lincoln Riley?
I don't. Oh man. Listen, it's not as bad as Lincoln Riley, no. And I'm gonna tell you why. I want to say that Lincoln Riley moving was all about the money.
That boy went in the middle of the night, son.
Yes. And Lincoln Riley, if you didn't know about it, you had to find out about that. Like you the next morning, like, what? And listen, here's
before the bowl game, too. At least Dion played the.
Oh my gosh, man! Like I think that it's. I'm not gonna lie, it's up there, bro. But it's not worse. It might
because the other thing too, Lincoln Riley denied it. Like, nah, I don't know. I hadn't talked to anybody, right? Dion at least said, listen, I would be stupid not to entertain other opportunities that come available. He said that. So it wasn't like he just up and disappeared. He told you in the beginning, I'm gonna listen to offers. Like,
listen, bro, if Deion Sanders can get Colorado in the top 10, bro, that's epic, bro. Listen, because I remember when Rashawn Salam was the last time, Cordell Stewart, them boys out there was the last time I remember Colorado being respectable, bro. And so if Dion could get them where they're a top 10 school, if he could even get the top 15, though, bro, like, man, Colorado's been trash for years. I'm like, my entire adult life, Colorado has been trash, man. So, but listen, I think Lincoln Riley, for how much, for what Lincoln Riley, because what was he making? Like $7 million, or what's he making? He was already making like $10 million or something like that. And then he went to UFC, went to USC, and they paid him whatever it was.
Yeah, and a private jet and transportation
But I think that his was all about the money. And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, like to Dion's point, though, right? Dion is basically saying that in college coaching, you either elevate or you get terminated, right? It's no gray area. They're not gonna leave you at these programs not winning. You either gonna keep moving up or you're gonna get fired. And so I think that when your time comes to elevate, you have to jump on that. Now, listen. I'm gonna tell you this. This is why I don't think that people should trip. And maybe they should, because people should think that we black people shouldn't be like them, the contemporaries, whoever them is. But Lane Kiffin, right? Lane Kiffin got paid more. I think he went like 8-4 or something like that. They paid Lane Kiffin more to stay. And gave him a bonus at that to not take the Auburn job. So all he had to do was just put the bug out there that somebody presented him the offer, and that was enough for him to already get this pay increase. His bonus amount that he was looking, just the increase was more than what Dion was making at Jackson State. So it's like, if you mean to tell me that this man is going to get paid more to give you 8 wins and still not even be a top 3 team in your conference, though, man. Like, how can you fault Deion for saying, well, I'm the number 1 guy now in my conference and taking that much more of a significant increase, though, man? Like, nah. So from that regards, though, bro, it happens all the time in the SEC. When them schools like when you got a decent program, Mike Leach, for example, he's out there, Mississippi State. If Mike Leach got Mississippi State in the top 15, and one of those other jobs that I'm assuming that in the SEC, they consider the tiers to be Alabama, Georgia, Auburn, LSU, and those are like the top jobs, right? And then below that is Auburn's, and then it's the next tier. So I would imagine that anytime those upper tier jobs become available, and you are one of those lower tier people, you're there for a little while until they fire you, but you're there also because you're making your team competitive enough. But they ain't gonna never beat. If they beat Alabama, it's their Super Bowl, and that's as good as you're gonna get for them. So if you're paying Lane Kiffin to try to be competitive against them, then why wouldn't you pay Deion more? Why wouldn't you be happy for Deion to do that, bro? So to slide for that big $375 to $5 million increase pay, bro. Stop playing with you, bro. Right. That's like 1,000%. That's like a 5,000% pay increase, bro.
And he can get his staff taken care of.
Man. It does now. I'm not gonna lie. It does leave Jackson State in a very hard place, though, man, because now you got to start over. I'm sure Deion's gonna take a lot of his staff with him. Listen. That boy Deion said, listen, he said, now I am bringing some players because I bring my own luggage. And it's Louis. That was cold when he said that, right? But I thought that it was wild that he said, hey, Shador, that's your quarterback right there. What I think is funny about that is that Josh McNown's son was supposed to be the starting quarterback. So he immediately, right after Deion had his press conference, immediately went in that transfer portal, bro. He was like, I'm out of here then. If y'all said that he's starting already, boom, that's it, though. And what I think is interesting to me, though, right, is that you see a lot of this transfer portal. And like players are leaving Alabama by the droves. And gone are those years where Alabama would just have the Bo Scarboroughs of the world. Just you have all these 5-star athletes that ain't getting playing time, and now they got to sit out a year and this, that, and the other. That transfer portal now means that Deion can recruit from the transfer portal and start to turn your program around in a year or two, though, bro. And they already have some of those guys that are reaching out to Deion directly now. They'll be like, hey, Coach Prime, you got some room for your boy? And so I think that I think that's great, man. I listen, I'm every year I tell people that Troy and the Longhorns is going to play in the national championship, bro. But I also root for Baylor. But I got to add Colorado to my list of teams that I would root for, though, bro. So I'm all in with Deion, though, man.
Yeah. Man, what you got going on this weekend?
Man, so I finally decided, man, that I'm dropping the new single off. You got yours. This is funny because you got yours on the 12/15. Mine is the next day. So, yeah.
Hey, we busy over here, bro.
Yeah. We working. So we dropping it off the next day. Probably on the next episode, bro. We got to run them videos if yours is done by then. Listen, I'm probably dropping all this extra.
You was just telling all the boy biz like that.
Okay, but listen, you asked me, so you should
ask.
I
said, what you doing this weekend? Ain't saying nothing about it.
I say all that. Listen, I say all that to say because one of the things that I'm looking to do over the weekend, man, is I got to get my pre-release, my teaser video to put on out there, man. So I'm hoping to go ahead and whip up something. I got 2 ideas that I'm working on that though, man. So yeah. My bad though. What you got going on? By the way, what you got going on?
Just getting ready for the single to release, and hanging out with fam. Going to see the state game tomorrow. The boy from Millwood, CJ. Boy, young king out here doing his thug dizzle. So I'm gonna check him out, and supposed to get to see the boy Santa Blair tomorrow. And Duke's got a game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this weekend, man, I'm hoping that since we're hosting for Christmas, I think that I'm starting my big prep weekend to start getting ready for the fam. And it's gonna be get it on and popping.
Yeah, I wrapped 2 of Sarah's gifts tonight.
I think that you know what though, man. I still got some things that are on the way. But for the most part, though, man, I think that I did a lot of the wrapping here, and my tree is looking really good. But I got a couple little extra little knickknacks that I got in mind, though, man, that I'm hoping to go ahead and also, yeah. So still ongoing though.
That's what's up.
But I'm in them streets though, in them holiday shopping streets.
That's what's up.
Hey, let's get that music though, man. Let's get on out of here, man.
Only thing on my wish list, girl, it's you, not a necklace. Not playing games, series X's. Only you in my presence, girl. I need you to know. Don't need no mistletoe, like Elsa, you make it snow.